1300 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has warned the world to take notice of India's ultra-nationalist ideology based on Nazism, otherwise the situation will go far worse. Addressing the Refugee Summit in Islamabad, the Foreign Minister has reiterated Pakistan's stance to continue supporting the Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process. The United Nations Secretary-General has underlined the need for renewed commitment to peace in Afghanistan for successful repatriation of Afghan refugees. Week-long meetings of the Financial Action Task Force have begun in Paris to discuss global action on money that fuels crime and terrorism. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has warned the world to take notice of India's ultra-nationalist ideology based on Nazism, otherwise things will go far worse. Addressing a two-day refugee summit in Islamabad on 40 years of hosting Afghan refugees in Pakistan today, he said if this ideology is not checked, this will lead to destruction and the region will become a flashpoint. The Prime Minister said the Indian Prime Minister's statement that they can destroy Pakistan in 11 days is not a responsible statement by a Prime Minister of a nuclear state with a huge population. He said because of the Hindutva ideology, Kashmiris have been persecuted for over 200 days while living under a lockdown. Imran Khan said under the same ideology, the Bharatiya Janata Party government passed two discriminatory nationalistic legislations targeting 200 million Muslims in India. He said if the international community does not take notice of this situation, it will create another refugees crisis for Pakistan, as Muslims of India have been asked to move to Pakistan. Referring to the Afghan peace process, the Prime Minister said we have extended the best ever support to the Afghan peace process.
The one way we can actually bring jobs and prosperity is by having trading relationship and peaceful relationship. So, to give them jobs, bring prosperity, we need peace in Afghanistan. And then, for the future, the connectivity between Pakistan, Afghanistan and Central Asia, that is the future. Trade. Jobs won't come with conflict. We need peace.
Earlier addressing the conference, the Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said Pakistan is pursuing a policy of return of Afghan refugees with dignity, safety and honour. He said peace and stability is indispensable and Pakistan will continue supporting the Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process. The Foreign Minister said Pakistan hosted 5 million Afghan refugees and today 3 million registered and unregistered Afghan refugees are residing in Pakistan. He urged the world to join hands with Pakistan to provide basic needs to the Afghan refugees and enable them to live a dignified life.
Afghan refugees are now expecting that with hope for peace, you will help them rebuild their country. Their aspirations are genuine and must be met with equal opportunities. Today, I'm asking you to join hands with Pakistan to provide for their basic needs and enable them to live a dignified life.
In his speech at the two-day Refugee Summit Islamabad on 40 years of hosting Afghan refugees, the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres underlined the need for renewed commitment to peace in Afghanistan for successful repatriation of Afghan refugees. He said Pakistan is still the second largest country in hosting refugees. The United Nations Secretary-General said we must recognize that the international support has been minimal as compared to a national contribution.
As we look to the challenges ahead, the global community must step up. On one hand, we mark 40 unbroken years of solidarity, but we also despair at 40 broken years of hostility. We know the solutions lies in Afghanistan, and I hope the signals of a possible pathway for peace will lead to a better future for the people of Afghanistan.
The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashiq, has said Prime Minister Imran Khan has fulfilled the promise of reforms in the civil services. In a tweet, she said these reforms will prove a milestone in improving the performance of the civil service. The Special Assistant said now the officers will get promotion on the basis of performance. The week-long meetings of the Financial Action Task Force have begun in Paris to discuss global action on money that fuels crime and terrorism. More than 800 representatives from 205 countries and jurisdictions around the world, the International Monetary Fund, the United Nations, the World Bank, and other organizations are participating in these meetings. The Financial Action Task Force week will conclude with the plenary on important issues from Wednesday. In Syria, the government forces in the continued offensive in the northwest of the country have retaken all the villages and small towns west of Aleppo city. Meanwhile, the Turkish and Russian officials would meet in Moscow today to discuss humanitarian issue in Idlib. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.